Oh man, as soon as I woke up, no shorter than I was getting ready to head out the door and head to work. But I'm not gonna go to work today. Unfortunately, I had a passing in my family, so I didn't feel like going to work, so I called off. So about to head over to Stockton in a little bit. So got to be with the family. In a time of tragedy. But unfortunately, I had also got some other texts from credible sources, and then other people I know that's really deep within the boxing circuit, and then some people that is affiliated with the camp in question. Um, I would recommend that you guys do not start booking flights to Las Vegas and looking at plane fares and all that kind of stuff because this could just be another ploy by, the PBC to try to get you to get amped up for the Keith Thurman fight, in which after Errol Spence wins the Keith Thurman fight, he's going to continue the campaign at 154. You've been hearing reports about Terrence Crawford being the first option and then Keith Thurman being the second option. That doesn't appear to be the case. I have to say this, and I know some people ain't gonna like it, and I'm not worried about none of you PBC apologists and Spence apologists and Al Heyman apologists getting mad at me because at the end of the day, I'm gonna say what I want to say, and there's nothing you can do about it. There really isn't anything you can do about it. Well, call me out my name, call me a hater, like that matters. Once again, I don't have no boss. So if you want to go to those pro PBC channels, go over there. Go big up day channels. And that's just real talk because it's starting to make a lot of sense to me. Would Errol Spence go directly into a fight with Terrence Crawford after over a year layoff? I don't think Errol Spence is that confident. I don't think he's that confident. I don't believe the PBC's that confident. I don't think Al Heyman's that confident. And I'm thinking to myself, so now all of a sudden, after all the stalling and after all the politics, now all of a sudden Al Heyman is going to step aside and finally let this fight take place. You got to understand that people throw stuff out there and see will it stick. This is the same tactics that Manny Pacquiao was doing when he basically avoided Floyd Mayweather for years. All this stuff, every time Floyd would sign to fight somebody else, then here comes Manny Pacquiao saying, oh, sign the contract and all this kind of stuff. And that went on for years. That went on from 2009 to 2015, where basically you didn't get the fight for basically almost additional. You didn't get Floyd versus Manny Pacquiao basically for 6 years after the talk of the fight even happened, came up. So here we are. Here we are, 2023. Um, well, 5 years and running, still no Spence Crawford. Now you already know the guys like the least attorney and other people will start trying to put stuff out and trying to uh, try to blame this on Terrence Crawford. Like I said, at the end of the day, they had over a year to make this fight. When Terrence Crawford first announced back in 2021 that he was a promotional free agent, they immediately could have started negotiating. They could have had this fight ready to go for September, maybe even August. At the end of the day, Devin Haney versus Lomachenko got done, even though even though it took them an extensive negotiation, it took them almost 5 months to get this fight finalized and finished. This is a fight that's been in negotiations for years and they couldn't find a way to get it done. You heard excuse after excuse about I'm not, he on this side of the street and that side of the street. Just you heard excuse after excuse. So I'm just telling y'all, don't fall for this. So don't be surprised if it's announced that Errol Spence is fighting Keith Thurman. Because because Team Crawford is saying something different. And I think the best thing to do is for us to just play this by ear. Remember, we had heard a definitive date last year. And then you hearing conflicting stories about you got one party saying they never stopped negotiating. Then you got another other people saying, oh, they just resumed talks. So this thing is all over the place. It's better for us to just wait and see till they are officially standing next to each other or opposite sides of each other, having an official face-off to announce this fight. I will continue to do my everyday routine because we've heard this before. We went down this road before, and I don't want to keep doing this stuff. And then it appears the potential sites, one of the sites that they talked about isn't even available on that day. So my thing is to just go on about your everyday life till you officially see a press conference. And I'm not worried about you Errol Spence apologists coming on here, because at the end of the day, if you say something slick, I'm just gonna remove your comment and just block you. Until I actually see them two guys standing on opposite ends announcing this fight, until I see an actual official promo poster, then I'll actually believe it. And I may even go so far until I actually get the fight night, until I actually see both of them dudes making their way to the ring, because this has went on far too long. This has been going on for years. Like I said before, I'm not finna get into the finger pointing thing. Just move on until you see them side by side on each other announcing this fight. Because I'm not setting myself up for disappointment again. I'm not going for this stuff. I'm just going to play this by ear. I'm not going to do the finger pointing thing. I already let people know a while ago where I stand on this. Because I'm thinking to myself, what changed? So now all of a sudden, Al Haymon is letting Errol Spence negotiate on his own behalf. So now all of a sudden, Errol Spence can negotiate on his behalf. He can make offers when he wasn't allowed to do that previously. So now all of a sudden, he can negotiate this fight. Now all of a sudden, they willing to go half and half with the money, when they was hell bent on talking about, oh, take 70-30 or take 80-20 or take 60-40, which was an insulting offer to Terrence Crawford, which it was proven that Errol Spence don't sell the pay-per-views that they put out. Like I said before, this man last fought in his home stadium. He couldn't even sell 40,000 tickets. That was going for as low as $35. At the minimum, that stadium should have had 60,000 people up in there. He fought at Cowboy Stadium and he didn't even sell out half of the venue, and had tickets for $35. That's dirt cheap. You do know at capacity, Cowboy Stadium could hold up to 100,000 people. They had 100,000 people for the NBA All-Star game. So you mean to tell me the hometown favorite? And once again, do you know how much All-Star tickets cost? I'm just letting you know. Do you know how much All-Star tickets cost? I'm talking about they start off at an astronomical amount of money, and they still was able to get 100,000 people in Cowboy Stadium, and they had tickets for $35. You couldn't even sell 60,000 seats. Now I know some of them dudes is getting mad hearing me say this, but ask me, do I care? Something don't add up. Something not adding up. So at the end of the day, I hope Team Crawford ain't letting them play them. I just think that T. Crawford need to make arrangements to fight whoever they gonna fight next, and just continue until there's actually a real offer. Like I said before, they was hell bent. Oh, we ain't giving Terrence Crawford need to take what we give him. Like I said before, man, you couldn't even sell out your. I mean, for real, you couldn't even sell out in your hometown, and you had to. And I was there. I was there. Them tickets was going for as low as $35, and you had approximately 37,000 people there. Not to mention that allegedly there was anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000 tickets given away. So I'm just telling people, be careful. I'm telling y'all, this is just a ploy to possibly sell that Keith Thurman fight. Like I said before, Keith Thurman spilled the beans after the Barrios fight when he said, "Hey man, I was told that I was gonna be fighting Errol Spence." Now, of course, you're gonna have a certain group of people that's gonna try to make this Terrence Crawford fault. But how many times have I blew them dudes out the water? How many times have I made them dudes look like fools? I'm just keeping the buck, and you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. I'm not falling for this. I'm not falling for this. They keep putting out these reports. Oh, we got a date. We got a date. We got a date. We got. See, I knew that Devin Haney and Lomachenko was going to happen like a week ahead of time. I just was sworn into secrecy not to announce the fight until they announced it. They said I can hint that it was going to happen, but they said don't officially announce it. And I'll talk directly to Top Rank. I'll talk to the higher uppers. So I knew the fight was gonna be official. They basically told me I can hint that it was gonna happen, but they wanted me to just, but it was gonna happen. Like I said, I knew a week ahead of time. Actually, I knew before. I knew where it was gonna happen. I knew the date. I knew that it was gonna be at the MGM Grand. Now this fight stalled negotiations because from what I heard, it was Lomachenko's team that stalled negotiations. Because actually this fight was supposed to take place in February. But hey, the fight got done. It's going to happen. So it's official. You didn't seen press conferences. You didn't seen promotional posters for it. Have you seen any promotional posters for this fight? I mean, June ain't that far away. Because it's April. It's April. So they saying that this fight is going to be announced the weekend of Tank versus Ryan Garcia. But it appears that Terrence Crawford then came out and said, okay. Apparently he did the Blueface. Yeah, all right. So I'm just telling y'all, don't sit up there and have that sad look and have that wonk 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 when it's announced that he's fighting Keith Thurman. And like I said, I ain't worried about none of you Spence apologists, because I promise you, you ain't gonna come on my channel. You can't check me. No cornball off the internet can't check me, because like I said, I don't answer to nobody. I don't have no boss. I don't check in with nobody before I do my videos. Now, if they want to push a narrative, but they want to try to put this strictly on Terrence Crawford, that just shows you who they are. I'm a boxing fan. Like I said, at the end of the day, just because they got 70, 80, 90, 100,000 subscribers don't know what they talking about. How many times have they been wrong? Because like I said, it's kind of insulting to me because I'm actually out there in the field working. And if I don't go, I send people there and I give them the same instructions that I would try to execute myself if I'm out on the field. So y'all can get the best content. I'm out there. I'm talking to these people, whether it's on camera or off camera. I'm talking to these people. I'm gathering up information and I'm relaying it to y'all. But y'all rather listen to people that sit up behind a computer and be guessing. Ain't never covered a fight in their life. Don't talk to nobody. Just be guessing. And then you think what they say is the gospel. Like I said, I'm really out there. And me trying to call myself being a respectable, journalist, reporter. Like I said, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't rub people the wrong way, because like I said, if I told you how the so-called company that's ran by black people treat me and treated people that's affiliated with me, you would not be so fond of them. But then again, at the end of the day, y'all make excuses for people, just like y'all the same dudes on here making excuses for a white woman giving her unwanted opinion about reparations and slavery and caping for her. But then again, that doesn't surprise me because that's your community for you. That's my community. That's my people. Me always forever going against the grain and not understanding the overall picture. You need to always look at the overall picture and not just the snapshots or the quick Kodak pictures. But there you have it. But anyway, like I said before, be careful of this. So don't start looking for plane tickets and booking your flight. I mean, you could be seeing a fight in Las Vegas, but you might not be seeing Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. Like I told you guys, y'all need to wait, fall back. Wait till you see an actual press conference. And I think it might be getting to the point with Terrence Crawford when he said April Fools, to where just don't believe these people. And maybe Terrence Crawford is tired of them like using his name. Because like I said before, y'all really think that Errol Spence is finna go directly into a fight with Terrence Crawford after a year layoff, and it'll be over. It'll be Errol Spence haven't fought since last April, and by the time he gets back in the ring, it'll be a year and some change. At least if he fights Keith Thurman, it'll be a year since Keith Thurman fought. So it makes a little bit more sense. Terrence Crawford just fought December. I promise you something is gonna come up, and they're gonna say this. They're gonna do what they always go do. They're gonna say, "Oh, I tried to make the fight," because they got reports going all over the place. First, they said that they never stopped negotiating. Then they said they was close to the finish line. Then they said they resumed talks. So which one is it? How many times y'all gonna go for the banana in the tailpipe? How many times y'all gonna go for this? Yeah, I don't care about those Spence apologists not liking me. I don't care about y'all not liking me. I don't need y'all. That's just real talk. I told you I'm not gonna say what you want me to say, and I'm not gonna fall in line because you want me to say what you want me to say, and I'm not gonna say what you want me to say because you may be from where Errol Spence is from. I'm from California, like I said, and I ain't dissing Texas, but I don't have no ties to Texas like that. I don't have to say, I don't have to sit up here and be pro Spence because he from Texas. I ain't from Texas. I'm from California, born and raised. Like I said, ain't nobody gonna tell me what to say. If you got an attitude and you don't want to talk to me because I ain't finna be no aerospace apologist, then that's your problem. Then that just showed me you wasn't cool to begin with. That just shows your weak mental psyche. Cause like I said, some of y'all done took this way too personal. I ain't saying nothing about aerospace. Nothing. Could have, but I chose not to. I don't call that man out his name, and I don't talk about him outside of boxing, and I don't talk about his personal business because I try to stay away from that. Everything that I criticize Aerospace, the PBC for, has been boxing related. Now, based off the fact how they treated me, how they basically blacklisted me, because I'm not gonna lie, I've been blacklisted by the PBC and unfairly blacklisted. And I'll just go on to say it. I've been blacklisted by the PBC. Yeah, the so-called media company that's ran by black people. They ain't no different from these other people. Like I said, they go out of their way to make sure these white boys and these non-black media outlets get in. But then they act funny towards the brothers. They only want to let a selective few in, and as long as they suck up to them. And it's funny, everybody say all this stuff about Top Rank and Bob Arum and all them people, which, like I said, Bob Arum, I don't deal with Bob Arum whatsoever. But the funny thing is, I don't have no problem getting into other events. I get in the match room. I get credential for match room events. I get credential for Top Rank events. You know, the media companies and the promotional companies that's ran by white people. But yet I present myself as this proud black man. But then the people that I want to deal with that look like me give me a hard time. And then the so-called people that's supposed to be affiliated with me don't be calling them out on that. So that's why I say I'm my own entity. I ain't affiliated with no groups. I'm my own brand. I'm cool with people, but I'm my own brand. So I'm just telling you that's your company. I've been blacklisted by them. I've been blacklisted. And if I told you what God said to me, you really wouldn't respect them. But I'll save that for another day. Because at the end of the day, like I said, people try to present themselves to be one way, but they actually the other. But that's your people for you. Real talk. But I'm gonna continue to be who I am. I'm gonna continue to be who I am and say what I need to say, because that's what made me me. That's what made me who I am, keeping it a buck. But that's what's going on behind the scenes. That's your promotional company, TV show, TV series. That's how they treat black media and try to get you to jump through these hurdles and all this stuff, and to cover their fights. But all I got to do with the other people is make a phone call and I can get in. And then a lot of them have the decency to tell me ahead of time, and they'll tell me, hey, you might not be able to get into this fight because this is going on, that's going on. And y'all know when I cover these fights, I show the utmost professionalism. But yeah, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, man, be careful. I just think this is I think this is cap. I think this is cap. Like I said, now if I'm wrong, like I said, I'll be the first to come on here and say, hey, I was wrong. Because I don't have no problem admitting that I was wrong, or if I was misinformed, that I'll put out incorrect information. Like I said before, I put out a retraction video about what I said about Gillie the Kid and Wallow. You know, about their friend David Portnoy. I did what Tasha K should have immediately did when all this stuff with Cardi B started, which could have saved her millions of dollars. It ain't about being punked. It ain't about having pride. It's about just doing the right thing. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, man. Don't fall for it, man. Don't believe it. Just carry on until you see an actual press conference, until you see those dudes. Now, if something happens, now let's see. We'll see April the 22nd if Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence attend Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis, or Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Stay tuned. It's your boy Town. I'm out.